What's going on, guys? Hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've spoken with you guys. And the purpose of this video, I feel like the only relevant video to make right now is an update on my goals, what I'm currently doing, and I just reached the milestone of netting $30,000 in 1 month with one of my businesses, including my other business, maybe closer to 35-ish, maybe even a little bit more than that. But yeah, so I'm going to update you guys on what's going good, what's going bad, what my year's been looking like. We still have, it's September, so we still have 3.5 months left of the year. Is that right? Yeah, 3.5 months. We still have 3.5 months left of the year. Last year, I actually kind of freaked out a little bit. Side story. And I was like, I read the book The One Thing in 2019, and I was like, wow, I should only focus on one thing. And usually in 2020 and 2019, when I worked, I would have a 4-hour block where I would just focus all my time and effort on generally 1-2 important things, or a series of things that I knew were important that were somehow interrelated, if that makes sense. 2021, and throughout both those years, especially 2019, I networked a lot, which is arguably the reason why my business is where it's at now. And so I actually love him or hate him. Tai Lopez, a lot of people hate Tai Lopez. I think he's like a fake guru, but I've never purchased any of his programs. But he did say one thing in one of his videos that stuck with me. It was, if you're gonna hustle hard on the networking side of things. So that means, don't hustle hard like in your room by yourself. Yes, you can focus on building things, but make sure to focus energy on networking. So 2021 has been another year where I've really hustled hard on networking. So 2019 was good. 2020 was really grinding in my room, which was a lot of good stuff came from that too. I was lucky enough to live with Steve Rakin, who became my business partner, and I learned a lot from him. Hence the higher quality YouTube videos. He's got that verified check on YouTube. Maybe my video editor will post a picture of Steve right here with the verified check. But he's definitely helped up my game on a lot of different things, but especially when it comes to lighting and video content and things like that. And yeah, I think I was talking about the different work styles. This year has been definitely more networking, more time on the phone, which I think is really valuable. I've been reading books by this guy right here, Naval Ravikant. Talks a lot about Nassim Taleb. So if you guys want good books on, not really on business, but about, yeah, it is on business. It's not one of those bullshit business books. Like, when you read business books and it's just like no offense to Grant Cardone, but you can just read the fucking title of 10X and get the message. Like, just think 10 times bigger, and you're going to generally you're going to act in a way that is going to have more impact. That's not too helpful to read a whole fucking book on that concept, in my opinion. Nassim Taleb really talks about a lot of randomness and how a lot of things just fucking happen, Which is why networking is so huge, why posting on social media, while going out there, while picking up the phone and talking to people, regardless of what you think is going to happen, a lot of random shit will happen. So like with FedEx this year, for example, I saved multiple 5 figures, probably 20, 30,000. Well, if you include what I saved for my friends, definitely 20,000. Myself, 10 to 15,000 on shipping. And it was just because I had a simple conversation with them and they discounted my rates a little bit further. There's been so many examples where I would be out networking. That's how I met Steve. I was at a networking event. It's how literally all my businesses operate now is because of networking and random opportunities kind of arising out of nowhere. So my point is, yes, I think grinding like 4 hours, super focused, lights turned off, on a stand-up desk with a super nice mic and a Trello board is good. Making videos for my team, doing different things like that, growing my business. Like, that time is very valuable, but there's also a lot of value in just like being in a Discord group, messaging people, answering DMs, picking up the phone, talking to a follower, talking to somebody I look up to, going to networking events. There's a lot of value there too, and so I've been focusing a lot of my time on that as well. So let's get into goals, what I've reached, what I haven't. So I'll start with the only goal that I reached this year. Didn't think it was going to happen this fast, but I did $1 million in Amazon sales. I believe I'm at like 1.2 million just for this year as of now. Did not expect that to happen this fast. Like, I was actually looking at my goals one day. I was like, holy shit, I've already done over $1 million. Made a quick Instagram post and moved on. I do want my credit score to get to 750, which is not really a goal that I can work on every day. It's more about just being financially responsible, paying off my cards on time, but I've been doing a good job of that. Paid off all my debt. I know I made a post on Instagram for those of you that followed me that I was debt free at the beginning of this year. It's a little bit of a lie. I still owed my parents $10,000 for the car they bought me and for some college that they paid for. I got partial wrestling scholarship, but I took out a lot of student loans, paid off those student loans at the beginning of this year / last year, and then I owed my parents some more money. So paid them off, so I'm officially debt free. And now it's my goal to save up $120,000 liquid, not liquid, I guess. You guys let me know if this is liquid or not. I want $90,000 invested in index funds. I've already maxed out both my Roth IRAs from last year and this year, so it's $12,000 in index funds already. But I want $90,000 in 401k, I guess, which that's probably not liquid, Roth IRA, and other brokerages. Have some money in crypto. I probably have, being very transparent here, I probably, like, in savings, I probably have close to $30,000, which I'm pretty fucking proud of, because, you know, this beginning of this year I was negative, if you include what I owed my parents and what I owed some credit card companies, and now I'm positive $30,000. Just netted $30,000 last month, which is crazy. So $60,000 invested in index funds, and then $30,000 in a rainy day fund. I'm a big believer in having just money set aside. I'm not too in tune / attached to the money in my business accounts. After this summer, it was a crazy summer. You can go watch some of my videos where I break down kind of what happened with the whole chlorine thing. We were purchasing a lot of chlorine from Costco's. I don't even think I really made a video about that. I think I was still hiding the fact that I was sourcing chlorine at the time. But basically, I flew people all over the country. We purchased a lot of chlorine from Costco's. I spent $146,000 to end up making, at the end of the day, about $30,000 net. Some people think that's super shitty. Some people think that's amazing. But I made about $30,000 just from that in about 2 months, which is pretty cool. But I am a big believer in having a rainy day fund. Money is set aside personally, so whenever something goes wrong. There is a lot of money in my business, but again, I'm not super in tune with that because I do purchase inventory and spend it on various business projects, which will hopefully come back to me. But inventory is one of those things where you purchase and it's still like yours and it's still valuable until you sell it. You know, I'm making like a listing software and I've spent $25,000 on that this year, and it seems like in my head, I'm like, of course it's going to come back to me, but that money could just go down the drain and never come back, you know, if the listing software fails. But with inventory, yes, it could tank in price. Yes, you could lose money, but it's still it's valuable. It's almost like collateral in a way. Probably not the actual definition of collateral, but it is something that regardless, it's going to have at least some value, you know, especially if your average sales price is above $20. So, yeah, my point is I'm not including what's in my business as part of my net worth, which maybe I should, but I only consider what's part of my net worth once I pull it from the business. So currently I'm investing $375 a week in crypto, and then also I'm investing $1,000 a week. Because if you do the math, all the debt I paid off, I was paying $5,000 in debt off each month. That's what it came out to when in order to get debt free in 12 months and that's what I did. So now what I'm doing, now that I'm debt free, I'm putting $5,000 back into not only crypto, that's only $375, which is a decent amount. That's like almost 20%, I think, of my total savings. I am putting in crypto because I'm a big believer in that. And then also the rest just goes into rainy day funds. I'm currently trying to find out what to do. If anyone wants to give advice below, I know some of my followers have much larger net worths than me. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my money. So I think I'm going to start investing it in a 401k. Once I save up $30,000 rainy day, of course I have both Roth IRAs maxed out that grows tax-free. For anyone that doesn't know, you invest your money in a Roth IRA, and when you pull the money out, you don't have to pay taxes on it because you already paid taxes on it beforehand. So I do want to have my money grow in a safe place. So if anybody has advice, I think my next step is a 401k, a solo 401k. That's what a few people are saying in my network, including shout out Flips for Miles. He is a young 22-year-old kid, maybe he's 23 now, I think he's 22, who invested over $200,000 in index funds, which he's been a big part of why I've been saving more now. Anyway, back to my goals. That's my savings goals. And once I reach $120,000 saved up, I'm going to allow myself to purchase a car. So I'm looking at Teslas. I'm looking at a Jeep, maybe. I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm a big believer that your net worth should be probably 10x the value of your car, especially if you're going to get a loan on it, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, okay, let's say I got a $120,000 car after saving $120,000. Boom, I'm back to zero. So I'm not gonna buy a car for $120,000 once I reach $120K. Like, I'm gonna be smart about what I buy and hopefully wait a while. I really want a Tesla right now, but I feel like if I buy one too fast, then I might make a stupid decision. So I'm not allowing myself to do that until I reach 120,000 saved up. What else do I have? Make a listing software. I feel like this could be one of my businesses that, yes, I've been putting so much time into it. It's kind of been like on the back burner in a way. Like, we've had our developers working on it every week, but we've come across so many issues. Way harder than I thought to make a software, but I really do think that this could be one of the businesses that I focus on that does sell for $1 million. You know, it's going to be called go2lister.com. That's go2, like the number 2, lister.com. And I also bought the domain go2 as in the word 2, in case that you go to go2lister.com, which a lot of people will. It'll reroute you back. That's like, what is that, 9 characters for a domain? I feel like it's pretty badass. I feel like it's a pretty good domain. What do you guys think? Comment below. Is go2lister a cool domain? It's basically going to be like the other listing softwares, except better. Obviously, I wouldn't make something unless I was going to innovate. Very similar to AccelerList and Inventory Lab. I've been studying both of them. Obviously, if you study the competition, but it's going to be cool in a bunch of different ways. But the main way is it's going to be faster, it's going to be simpler, and it's going to be the way that I would want a listing software to be. So it's going to have some pretty cool features to avoid split shipments. The profit analytics are going to be very accurate. I run a consignment business, restrictedinventory.com, which I'll get into. That is one of my goals, actually. But part of running a consignment business is you have to know your numbers down to a T, which has really trickled into all my businesses. All my businesses now, I know the numbers exactly. Give or take, it's hard to get numbers like perfect, especially personal finances. But the fact that I had to get this thing perfect, these numbers perfect with the consignment business, it's really influenced my other businesses as well. And it's going to influence the listing software. When you guys use the listing software, it's going to be very accurate information. As long as you guys enter the buy cost correctly, as long as you guys enter accurate information in the software, it's going to spit out numbers that are meaningful and that can hopefully help you build your business. So I'm making the listing software for me first, and then I'll make it public once all the bugs are worked out. Okay, 20 new full-time Amazon sellers. I think I'm at 14 right now. I don't know how many I got this year. I am going to make a wall of freedom eventually. So I'm going to have all the people that quit their job, either through my free content, through my course, coaching, whatever. I'm going to create a wall of freedom. I've been saying this for a while. It's just one of those things that's been hard for me to get to. And I'm going to write a quick little bio about my student, what they were able to do, what job they quit, and what they do now. Some of my students started with books, and they were able to quit their job with books, but then they moved on to retail arbitrage or wholesale. I'm still taking credit for that. It's all my responsibility that they quit their job in the first place. No, just kidding. But I did help them take that first step, and the fact that they quit their jobs can inspire a lot of other people to take action as well. So I'm going to count everybody who quit their job and if you quit your job and even if you choose to go back to your job, you know now that you have the freedom to not work a job. So I'm counting anybody who has the freedom to not work a job. Anybody who knows these skills gets put on that list. I also have 10 to 20 replenishable book sources. Haven't taken much action on that just because I've been so busy on other things. What I mean by that is so my college sent me $25,000 worth of books over the last few years, and I would like to have more college campuses send me books, but I haven't been able to focus on that part of my book business just because I've been so fucking busy. But it's still on my list. I still see it every week, and it still haunts me when I see it. I'm like, fuck, I got to start taking action on that. But I got a lot of other things I got to do first. $25,000 to $50,000 per month on wholesale. I've been saying this literally like every week of the year. I've been saying I'm going to put my first wholesale order in. I swear to God I will. But it's been, for whatever reason, wholesale has been really hard for me to commit to. I think it's because I have these other businesses cranking out a lot of money, or really restricted inventories making the most money. But with wholesale, the goal there is to inspire other people to do wholesale. And also, after doing RA this summer, I'm seeing how you can spend money and get that money back in like 2 months. Less than that, really. Amazon held my money for 2 months this summer. They held $175,000 when we went crazy with the chlorine. So if they would have paid me every week, I actually would have received that money back within like 2 weeks of purchasing the inventory, which is insane. So I do want to have like part of my monthly spend going towards wholesale products because they sell so fast. And it's also one of those things where like I don't think I can teach everybody how to build a massive book business. So I don't want to just be an Amazon seller that is just the book guy. Yes, I can help you get started with books. Yes, I'll help some people be pretty successful with books, but there's a lot of people who live in the middle of fucking nowhere in Idaho. I don't know if there's a lot of people that live in the middle of nowhere in Idaho, but there are people that live in the middle of Idaho that would like to sell on Amazon as well. So I want to be able to help those people sell on Amazon. I believe wholesale is a way to that. And then after that, I'll probably do private label as well. But I tell you what, it is very difficult to get yourself motivated to do these other things when you have like restricted inventory just netted 30,000. And so my goal with that is to 2 to 3x that this next time around, this next textbook season. So January I would like to net 60 to 90,000, and that's very exciting for me because it's real money, cash money in the bank, baby. But when it comes to wholesale, it's like I'm like a baby learning this again, and so it's difficult there. So that is it for my goals. If you guys like that video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, boost that algorithm. It really helps out. It really helps boost my ego as well. So if you guys want to boost that ego, hit that button right there. And oh, I didn't even talk about my dance. I don't even have my personal goals written down here. So if you guys look, let's see if I want to show you this. Yeah, I do. So let's see if you guys look. Here's my dance goals. Just want to get better at salsa dancing. There is at these dance classes I've been going to, they have different levels. So it's been easier to measure my dance success. Currently I'm at level 3. I would like to get to level 5, but really I just want to dance every night of the week. Dancing for me, I started dancing really heavily in 2019. 2018 was like, I wouldn't even consider that dancing, whatever I was doing. I was going to the dance floor, but I don't think it was dancing. It was just counting steps at the time. But 2019, it was more of just like get uncomfortable. You know, I do a lot of things to make me uncomfortable. I'm getting back into doing like every day. David Goggins says you want to suffer, you want to go to hell for 1 hour a day. And so I've been taking ice baths twice a day again, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. There's also a lot of health benefits to that. I've been working out 2 times a day-ish. I go to jiu-jitsu, and I try and get a weightlifting session or cardio session or running or something else in. But doing hard things and dancing for me is starting out. And even now, Miami. Like, there's so many good people here in Miami, and going out by myself on a night in Miami, especially like at a new venue with dancers who are good as fuck. These Latino guys, I'm just fucking white boy walking out there. That is just like mentally, it is tough to sometimes put yourself on the dance floor. Literally, like the dance floor is like it's like a monster, and you have to walk in and force yourself to go out there and face rejection and face people being much better than you. And so I feel like just doing things like that. Like I'm not naturally a good dancer, and so putting myself in that environment, it just I think there's a lot of growth to be had there. I think there's a lot of growth, that moment where I'm like, I don't want to go out on the dance floor. I don't want to go I should go home. I should just go focus on my business. I have so many other things to do. Blah, blah, blah. Silence the mind. Go out there and do it anyway. Most of us think of pain and suffering and mental toughness, doing things like ice baths or running 1,000 stairs or running 20 miles. But I also would add to the category, doing things that make you uncomfortable socially, or dancing, if that's social, whatever you want to consider dancing, getting out of your comfort zone there. So dancing, and it's also a lot of fun. Like, and that's the interesting thing about dancing is, an ice bath's never going to be fun. Ever. You can always count on an ice bath sucking. But with dancing, it's like sometimes I'll go out and I'm like, that wasn't even hard. That was actually a lot of fun. Like I actually feel like I'm having too much fun now. Like I should probably go work more. But other nights I'm like, fuck, I don't want to dance. And it's a grind to go out. So I think there's a different dynamic there and a different level for growth. And I also just think dancing in general is like good for your brain. And when I get old as shit, I'll be able to be good at something, have my Latino wife, and I'll just be dancing with her like 80 years old. That's gonna be lit. If you guys ever wonder why my ears are so ugly, This ear's getting fucked up too. It's because I wrestled for 13 years of my life, and now I'm doing jiu-jitsu. So what the difference between jiu-jitsu and wrestling is jiu-jitsu, you can break limbs, you can choke people out. So my goal is just do jiu-jitsu anywhere from, I put 5 to 7 days a week. I'm happy if I go 3 days a week. And then also listen to podcasts about jiu-jitsu. I do want to compete and win a tournament this year, November 20th, that's going down. Submit purple belts on a regular basis. Doesn't really mean anything to submit a purple belt, but I have been tapping purple belts at my new gym. My old gym, it was hard to tap blue belts. But at this new gym, purple belts are actually worse than blue belts at the old gym, but I'm able to submit them. I'm able to hit them in arm bars. One of my favorite moves. You get their arm, put it in between your legs, and thrust up. Complete understanding of the fundamentals there with jiu-jitsu. Health, get to 165 pounds. Weighed 160 last night, but I wake up at like 155. So it's really hard for me to... I want to wake up at 165. That would mean I go to sleep at 170. That would be nice. Full range of motion on touching my toes. I think I can work on my shoulder flexibility. Pretty sure I have a torn shoulder. What's it called? Labia? Ooh, but you can see this is a shoulder mobility test. I was going to be a physical therapist, and I can't even touch my hands there. See if I can do it. Maybe on that side. Hurts though. My shoulders, I'm pretty sure they're broken. Full mobility. Just make an effort to stretch. Gallon of water a day. Have not been doing that. I got a lot of shit written down here, guys. Like, it's kind of overwhelming being in here every day, waking up, seeing this. 1,000 users of GoToLister.com. I think that's very attainable over the course of 5 years. Hopefully I'll have 10 by the end of this year. Next year I have a couple hundred. And eventually become the best listing software on Amazon. Wow, I talked a lot after my outro, but this is the real outro now. So if you haven't already, if you've been sitting here listening to the very end of this video and you didn't already hit that subscribe, like button, make sure to smash that. Without further ado, guys, go down the YouTube rabbit hole, go watch some more videos, go out there, get after it, start a business. Do whatever makes you happy. Most importantly, do whatever makes you uncomfortable. Peace out, guys.